This video is about an application I built for John Cage's composition, Imaginary Landscape Number 5. I'll just give a brief overview of the piece for those who aren't familiar with it. It's a graphic score that he created using chance operations. It was written for 42 phonographic records. To realize the piece himself, Cage transferred music from records to magnetic tape and then spliced fragments of sounds from the tape according to the score. You can see the first page of the score here is written on graph paper, and each square is 1/5 of a second. So you can see that several selections are very short, and in general these lines will go by pretty quickly. It has 8 parts which are notated vertically, and several of them only play a few times. The numbers underneath each bar of sound give instructions for volume changes as well as switching the audio selections themselves. And another example of the score is the third page. You can see there's actually moments where there's no sound at all. And down at the bottom here, the second system on this page, there's many different layers of sounds going on at once and changes in volume and the audio selection. So that's a little bit about the piece. And now the application here is basically a digital construction of all those score elements. It plays the sounds in the right spots and for the right lengths of time. It handles the different changes in volume and randomizes the sound files and their starting points. So all you have to do is drag 42 audio files in a folder into the application, and you can make your own realizations of the piece. So this application I just opened up is how it looks when you first open it up. It runs on Mac computers, and no other software is needed as it's a standalone application. It has normal tools like adjusting the volume, turning the sound on and off, a help menu, some basic instructions, and a couple audio device options. One in advanced audio settings here, and over here there's a drop-down menu. You can choose any connected audio devices if you don't want to use your built-in computer speakers. So all I would need to do is drag a folder of 42 audio files, which I have here, into the top right corner of the application and release. Then I just click initialize, and it takes a few moments while it randomizes the files and sorts them into the digital score construction, and then I could hit play to hear it. And before I do that though, I just want to mention that the default setting is to not record while it's playing. That's because if you're just messing around with different options and possibility, this way it's not trying to keep up with recording everything if you don't need or want it to. So if you do want to have the option of saving your realization as an audio file after it's done playing, just simply click on the button over here, click on this button first so it's ready to record. And while it plays, it'll record, and then afterwards you'll hit this button to save it, and I'll show that just in a minute. So now I'll hit play to give you a short example of the piece and the application. The 42 sound files I chose and loaded in were Bjork songs, because I'm a big fan of hers. So this is the first part of one possible Bjork realization of Imaginary Landscape Number 5. Right, so that's just a short clip there. So obviously the timing, different clips and fragments, as well as the loud and the soft layering, those are all from the score. So it's not like a mistake if something comes in a little quieter. So I can hit stop at any time, and I just have to hit reset before selecting play again. Hitting reset starts the same realization over again from the beginning, and all the audio files stay loaded in the same places in the score. If I wanted to create more realizations using the same audio files, I could click initialize again and would reshuffle them all into different parts. So because the selections of sounds in the score are all pretty short, and their starting points here are randomly chosen within the 42 different audio files, you can get very contrasting versions over and over again, even with the same audio files loaded in. But of course, you can also drag many more combinations of audio files into the application too. Just make sure there's always 42 files in the folder that you drag, and the files are one of these 3 file formats listed here. So just to quickly show the saving process, after it's done, you just click Save, and a menu pops up. You can name it, say where to save it to, even choose what file format to save it as, and hit Save, and there it is on my desktop. It records by default into the first kind of preset here, so if you're trying different realizations and recording different options, just make sure before you hit play again in recording, you would hit a different preset if you do not want to overwrite what a previous version that you made. So the score for Imaginary Landscape number 5, I also want to mention, is available from Edition Peters, and it's with their permission that I'm able to share this application. If you're interested in purchasing and using the application, if you have any questions along the way as you do, I've listed my website below. It can be used for more information on the application and to get in contact with me. I'm happy to help out if you're using the application and to hear what you're doing with it. So thanks for watching.